Mr. Speaker, this is about ensuring a free market. This is about ensuring a free press. This is about ensuring a strong democracy for now and for the future. And because of these reasons, we don't want a propaganda channel of the state where it can send what it wants. So I will keep my rebuttal into my constructive points, which will be, first of all, we have no problem. Secondly, your plan creates a distortion of competition. Thirdly, it's a good thing that there are good opinions outside of the state. And fourthly, you cannot ensure that the influence of the state does not happen in your plan, and the influence of the state is a bad thing. So first of all, we don't have a problem at all. Because in the past, people used to have much less information than they have now. People used to be analphabets. The first American settlers didn't used to read many books outside of the Bible, and still they built what is arguably the strongest democracy still existing. And today, people have a whole range of information possibilities for them. They can go on the internet, they can watch hundreds of TV channels, they can go on the radio, and people do inform themselves. And because these media have to be in competition, they have to explore niches where they can get a good results for them. So this means that there will be always a niche for good information, and people can profit from good information. So you have, for example, CNN for world news, or you have Discovery Channel, or National Geographic Channel for nature news. If you want your daily dose of hate, you can go to Fox News. If you want. And you can even watch parliamentary sessions on C-SPAN, for example. So you don't have necessarily a sensationalistic environment here. And there's also serving of minority interests, because if there is a sizable minority, there can be profit by creating a program for them, so we don't see a problem here either. Secondly, your plan just distorts competition. First of all, if your government propaganda channel is bad and no one watches it, it still won't go bust as it should in a free market, because it is cushioned by the taxpayer money, and this is just a waste of taxpayer money. I'm already paying, Mr. Speaker, for lots of banks that made a really bad job, and I don't want to pay for a propaganda channel which no one watches either. And I don't want a channel which hogs the airwaves, which hogs the first places on the remote. And it will hog the first places on remote because people tend to trust the government, wrongly sometimes in our opinion, because people tend to put faith in the government, so they will watch these government propaganda channels a lot, and will hog airspace which could be used otherwise.
Okay, so last time I checked, you have to both pay for National Geographic, you have to pay for all these sorts of really cool, high-quality TV programs. Why should the broader public have to pay for quality education?
I don't know if you have to pay for National Geographic. Actually, it's a private channel, I think. So, because the government propaganda channel you're proposing does want to be seen, so the efforts are futile, it has to be competitive. But if it is competitive, it has to be competitive for the masses, so it has to cater, for example, soccer rights, it has to show daily soaps, etc. And again, why should I pay with my taxpayer money for a sport I don't watch, for soaps I don't watch? Why should I pay for that? Especially, and this is my third point, because it is so important to have a free press and a generation of opinions outside of the state. Because it is important that opinions are generated outside of the elite. So change can get possible, because the elites and the state and the government is the elite wants to protect the status quo. And first of all, we the people, we choose what we want to highlight. If a politician wants to hide his affairs, but I want to know about it, because this tells me something about his character, and I want to decide if I want to re-elect him. It's my choice if I want to know about it, not his to hide his affair, because he serves me, not the other way around. And that's why... That's why we need an independent press, which must have the power to investigate even against the elites, and the facilities and the power to do so, and the money to do so, and it only gets that money if it doesn't have a competitor who hogs the airwaves and takes away much much revenue which it could use better to counter the elites. And this is an important part of democratic societies, that not only the elite says what communication shall be, but the people have a say too, and the free press is the agent of the free people. And lastly, we say the influence of the state on a broadcast channel is bad, because first of all, there will always be influence it cannot be organized any other way. If the state owns the corporation, it's a boss, and it will always have a lever to pull to ensure it creates good propaganda. Even democratic states will exert this influence because the people in power want to keep this power, if only for the perks for a driver, for example, because they just like to be re-elected and like having masses applaud them, for example. So they want to have the natural tendency to hide their failings, to want to present a rosy picture of the state, to want to present a rosy picture of society, so they don't get re-elected, and so they will want to influence it. No, thank you. Even if they aren't exerting direct influence, the people at the broadcasting corporations will feel censored. They will impose a self-censorship on them because they fear for the jobs. Because they know if I investigate against the Prime Minister, because the Prime Minister happens to be a serial philanderer, for example, who sends prostitutes to his villas all around the country. Just a fictitious example. They will not investigate because of fear for the jobs. And we say this is especially important that we have no censorship on TV, because TV goes right into the eyes, and the eyes are connected right faster to the mind than reading letters are, and so they are right faster. So it is not in the public interest, it is not in the democratic interest to have a self-censored, state-owned media where the government exerts influence, because this only creates propaganda which serves the elite and not the people. Igor will talk about further abuses and about the future of democracy under your plan. So, in conclusion, we say you have no problem, you have to present it as a problem. Your plan will distort competition necessarily. We think it is good that there is a free press, and it should not be constrained by your plan. And finally, state influence, state propaganda channels are a bad thing, and that's why we're very, very proud to oppose.